Welcome to Aladdin's Cave again. Steve Fishman here. And I wanted to talk about Prunk. Now, this is not some strain of like an underground hip-hop thing from, Atlanta or somewhere like that. The idea is punk and prog. Now, I personally have to admit that I did listen to prog music. Guilty pleasure. Guilty, Of course, there were certain ones that always held up, and, I always mention King Crimson. There were a few others that did some cool stuff, and generally tend to be when they were dissonant and edgy and maybe, leaning towards avant jazz, or particularly love also like modern composition type stuff too. When there's a vibe of that, I dug that too. Anyhow, my idea was to put together punk and progressive and see, can you mix the two? Because in the old days, it was like a war, because the proggies, these big bands like were doing, kind of ridiculous stuff and getting all dressing, and really getting into the rock star thing, and and it's also like getting into super showmanship, which is entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a little bit like a lot of the punks were, God, for real, really, dinosaurs, right? They call them dinosaurs, and it certainly brought them down a peg or two and affected their careers. So a lot of the prog people really didn't like the punk new wave kind of people. Some did, some totally got it and were like, oh yeah, cool. And some were like, you motherfuckers. So I thought it would be great to reconcile and put the two together. Now, how do you do that? I guess you have some serious attitude, and you have some changes and some pieces and stuff and bits that are a little more musically challenging, complex, or whatever. And so I've done a few exercises in that department, and some kind of thing where it's like the combination of the two, making peace and also making new vibes. So I'm going to play you a bit of a track that I'm actually kind of mixing at some point. This is probably not a very good mix, but I'll play you a bit of this and you get an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm just going to go straight in. I had the bass. Get what I'm talking about, right? Kind of punky, isn't it? I mean, certainly got some attitude and stuff. There's an echo again. Yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I think it could be a lot of fun to the meeting, the healing of the rift, the war between punk and prunk. And now I'm going to actually reach out and contact a couple of my friends that are kind of in that world. All right, anyway, love you guys. Talk soon. Lick my video. Lick my video. Like, love.